Mama nzomthini lo mntwana ndifuna ukumenza ibhokobhoko.
As a black captain for the first time led the Springboks, 28-year-old Kolisi rose to the peak of a sport long associated with apartheid.
The Springboks under Kolisi made black people feel at home.
Are you playing for the Springboks?
Yeah, I'm playing for the Springboks.
I used to go train in a phony field. We were training bare feet.
Life was difficult there.
I know what hungry is, but the point that I went to...
Rise, the Kolisi story has won the Audience Award at the International Tribeca Film Festival in New York. Directed by Tebogo Malope, the film is about the life of Mzansi's #1 sportsman growing up in poverty to becoming the first black rugby captain to win the World Cup in 2019. In the film, Kolisi shares both his challenges and victories, which include his rise to international stardom, his complicated relationship with his father, and struggle with alcohol. The director of the film joins us in studio, Tebogo Malope. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Level. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I mean, speak to us about how the film came about and how this concept grew into what it is now.
Yeah, so once Kolisi won the Rugby World Cup, he was signed by Jay-Z's Rock Nation agency. And at that point, they said, what's the first thing that we got to do? And they said, let's package his story so that South Africans can get to see it and the international market can get to see it. So the first thing they thought about was a film. And then they it was a global, worldwide search for a director. There are some big names there, and somehow I was blessed enough to get it.
I mean, speak to us about telling this story, and such a big story with so many facets, and making sure that, you know, it's packaged into this beautiful thing that you've created.
The Kolisi story is a blessing and a curse, right? It's a blessing because everybody knows it. You know? It's like, oh no, it's Kolisi story, so there's demand for it.
Yes.
We want to see it filmed, right? The hard thing about it is because everybody knows it is, what am I going to tell that people don't know?
Yeah.
Right? They know at the end of the film he raises the World Cup. So packaging it, in fact, the first day when we first met and we spoke, I realized that there's more deeper than what meets the eye. He's a great soul, he's a great human being. The story is about his relationship and father and son relationship, his relationship with his wife, and what he means to society, to us people, especially black kids from township such as his. And so once I met him, I realized that a lot of people don't know the nuances of his story. And so we thought, let's package it. Of course, it's going to end well. Of course, you're going to hear Guijo. Of course, you're going to win the World Cup at the end, and you're going to scream, shout, celebrate, dance. But in between, you're going to get to experience the story of a human being, of a person, of hope, of subtleties that also reflect your personal life.
Speak to us about his relationship with his dad, because for me personally, that's the most interesting bit about the film, and how complicated this relationship and how many layers it has. But funny enough, you can relate to it because of fathers as well.
I didn't expect that, right? So when we started shooting, I really didn't expect that. Sia had never confronted his father about his upbringing. He's never confronted his father about his childhood and the complications of it. His dad wasn't there most of the time. And when we started filming, he said, you know, I would like to speak to my dad. And the first time he spoke to his dad about it was when we were filming.
Right.
So when you watch it, it's actually the first time ever that Sia confronts his dad about everything that happened in his childhood. It was so emotional because a lot of us young kids, especially from the township, we share similar background. Myself, personally, I grew up without a dad, right? He left when I was very small. And so telling that story was both almost personal, but also national in a way. It was Sia's story, it was my story, but it was a story of a lot of other kids. And so hopefully by just showing that and just projecting and how it ends with such a positive light, how the sons are reunited to the fathers and the fathers reunite to the son, maybe it gives hope for all of us that have similar backgrounds, that if it's possible, that it could happen, that if we spread the right messages, that could possibly happen. And I think once that happens, I think our nation will be much better.
Tribeca Film Festival, that's huge. Tell us a little bit about
massive.
that. It is huge.
It's Tribeca Film Festival is in New York. It's in the top 3 film festivals in the world. It's run by Robert De Niro. In fact, I was blessed enough to do a brunch with Robert De Niro in New York. So it's been fantastic. There was more than 11,000 movies submitted for the festival, and only about 212 showed. And for this film, a South African film by a South African storytellers about a South African athlete to come out on top in the world like that was such an amazing, it's a bit surreal. I'm still buzzing from that experience right now, you know. So it's very exciting, and I think it goes to show that South African stories matter, South African storytellers have a voice, and that the world wants to hear this voice.
What does he think of the film? I mean, it's his, you know, film festival. What would be his first thoughts?
Who's this? Robert De Niro? Well, Bob. No. No. So at the branch, he did a speech, and what was exciting about the speech was the idea that just by making it to the Tribeca Film Festival is a win already. Right? Because you're getting a co-sign from all these filmmakers from around the world. It's like the mecca of storytellers. So by just being there, you've won already, right? And so that when that moment happened, and you realize, like, wow, the biggest filmmakers in the world have actually watched this film, and they resonate with it. They ignored subtitles. I mean, there's subtitles on it. So sometimes you go, most of it is in Xhosa. Will they really get the nuances and the subtleties? They saw past that, right? They connected with the emotion. They connected with the storytelling. They connected with the style of it all. And I think it's exciting for us as filmmakers, as South African filmmakers, for the future.
What did it teach you about yourself and your love for telling stories?
It's a nice question, because that's going to let me segue to giving a shout out to my brother and mentor Tebogo Malope of Yizo, who just passed on recently. In fact, we put him to rest yesterday. It's funny because what it taught me is the one thing that he taught me. I was blessed enough to be under his wings for many years, and every day he would say to me, "The brother, trust your voice. You know, just trust your voice. You know." And if you go to the Tribeca Film Festival and you see so many films by so many great filmmakers, it's so amazing at the level that they're functioning at. And then it's easy for you to try and do that. It's easy to try and package yourself as like a Hollywood filmmaker or try and make films similar to what they make. But trusting your voice, you know, trust your voice, trusting my voice. And as South African directors and storytellers, we need to trust our voices more and know that our voices matter. And I think for me, you know, Tebogo Malope is the one person that really taught me that. I can't help but be emotional talking about it. He taught me that trust your voice, because your voice matters. And being on that world stage and seeing and being honored at that level made me understand and made it land even harder that the brother, trust your voice, and everybody will catch on. And
when do you think you found your voice? At what point in your career do you think okay, this is my voice?
I found my voice when I sat across the table with Tebogo Malope. The whole time. Everything that I wrote, he would read and say, "I don't see you here." Everything I'd edit, he says, that cut doesn't work. That's not you. The brother, I know you. You know, go for it. Trust yourself. Trust your voice. So I think, you know, may he rest in peace. I know next week is a memorial service. There'll be a lot more filmmakers that will honor him. But I thought I should take this time just to give him the shout out that he deserves. And may he rest in peace.
Major contribution to the industry. So thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations on the film. Good luck going forward. Tebogo Malope speaking to us about the rise. The Kolisi story has won the Audience Award at the International Tribeca Film Festival.